What's up, YouTube? So today, I got this little yellow package I'm going to open up for you guys. And this is 1/2 inch aluminum, blank aluminum, that I ordered off of Amazon. Purdy. And the reason I ordered this was because I need adapters for my tunnel ram to put the carburetors on sideways. Because the TR1X, the model I have, I don't know about any of the other ones if different years were different, but it doesn't allow the 4150 flange for a Holly to sit sideways on the intake manifold. So I have to make adapters because I'm not spending $200 on the Offenhauser ones, and Edelbrock is out of stock for the ones that are like 90 bucks for the set. So this was like $55 for 2 of these plates, and I'm going to show you guys how I basically am going to make this. So I got my gasket, and this is going to be the one I use to trace out how I want to do this. And then I have another gasket here just to give me an idea of the distance that I want to keep for when I do this. Now basically all I'm doing is I want to match the gaskets up for 4150. I'm going to take one of them and flip it, and then match the centers up. There's other ways you guys can do this, but I'm just kind of going off of what I got going on here. So take that gasket, put it to the side, because now I kind of know that I have a distance from the top to the bottom of this one. That's all I really needed that for at this moment. Take a marker, just trace it. And then I'm going to trace the center. Then I want to mark my holes. When you're done tracing, you should have something that looks like that. And now I'm going to flip the gasket. I'll line up the center bore the best I can. Trace it again. But this time I'm only going to do 2 sides. So I'm going to do the top and the bottom. My holes. And you should have something that looks like that after you trace out everything. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the holes that I want to use. And I'm going to write side notes on the side here of what is what, just because that's what works for me. And I'll show you guys that, but you guys can have a piece of paper, however you want to do it. For me, it's just easier to write it right in front of my face. So I'm going to take my gasket. This is my 4150 flange. I'm going to color those holes in. And I'm actually going to use a different color marker for this one. And me personally, what I'm doing is I'm using the smaller flange. I forget what the number is, what style carb it fits. I believe it's like the Rochester, or however you pronounce it. But I'm going to use the smaller flange to bolt to the tunnel ram, and then the 4150 flange for my sideways 4150 carburetor. So right here, tap 4150 because these bolts need to be tapped. And then my other note, red drill and countersink. So that's one thing nice about using different color markers. You know, the black goes to black, red goes to red. So that's just the easy way for me to stay concentrated and keep note of what I need to do. So next, I have a drill press, but if you don't have a drill press, you can do this with a drill. Just try to be as straight as possible. I did already kind of make one of these. It's not finished yet, but that's what I came up with. The studs, they screw in, so all these holes, these 4 holes are tapped, and then these other 4 holes are countersunk, so they fit these bolts in them, which I have to countersink a little bit more on some of these. That's why they're marked red. But I already had it bolted to the intake, so all I got to do is clean this all up, cut the center out. For the most part, this one's done, minus cleaning up the edges and stuff, but and countersinking these holes. But the way I did this, it's not perfect. The carburetor, I had to drill the holes out a little bit bigger on the carburetor to the next size up. To me, that's not a big deal. To someone who's anal, might be a big deal. But I'm gonna be honest, as long as it works, I'm the type, if it works, I don't care. It's not the prettiest looking piece. It probably won't be after it's finished. But you get the idea. This is the hardest part, and cutting this center piece out, which I'm probably going to drill this out. Maybe do like a 4-hole deal and then clean it up, and then I'll probably port match it to the intake, so that way this is the same size as the tunnel ram opening. If I don't do that, it could cause a couple issues. One, if this is too small, which it shouldn't be because it's the size of a gasket, but if it is too small, the throttle blades might hit it. So this has to be open big enough for the blades to get around, and I also don't want to make this like a restrictor plate. So I'd like to open it, this inside diameter, to the same size as the inside diameter on the tunnel ram. So it's just something to take note of, but you know, if you want to spend $200, by all means, you get a nice piece that bolts right on. You don't have to do none of this work. But if you're a guy trying to save his money, I know I have a lot of other things I can buy for $200 that are much more important than an adapter plate. That's just how I look at it. So for me, I'll drill the carburetor base plates out on the new set of carburetors I got. I used the junk carburetor I had laying around just to see how it would pan out. And, you know, I'll get some new gaskets to go on when I do it, when I bolt it onto the tunnel ram for it to be assembled. And, you know, make sure it doesn't leak or anything, and take that bend when it comes if I do have any problems. But, I mean, this is flat aluminum. There really shouldn't be any issues with it. So I don't see why I can't just bolt this on when I'm done with it and kind of go. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you guys a rundown how to do it. I got this drill press here, a couple drill bits, nothing crazy, a tap and die set, which you could buy just the tap size you need. Just to give you the number, if I can even see it. This is a 5/16 tap. And the drill bit I'm using is 1/4-inch drill bit, it looks like. It's really hard to see. But a 1/4-inch drill bit and a 5/16 tap. So that'll get your studs all in here. And then just the T-handle. You can even use a wrench if you really want to. I've done that, or a socket that fits this 12-point socket, or a 12-point wrench. And turn it in with that, but you gotta be, this is the important part. This is the hard part to this, is staying straight. Tap this crooked, you're gonna have a lot of problems. Mine are pretty straight for the most part. I'm not gonna say it's 100% perfect. That might be my issue, as why the carburetor flange was tight. It did kind of go through, but I would have really had to press that thing on there to get it on, and getting it off would have been even more fun. So that's one reason why I just ran a bit through it. I went to like the next size up of whatever size hole that flange is, and it went right on after that. So that pretty much sums it up. I'm not going to show you guys me drilling this on a drill press. Anybody that's mechanically inclined gets the idea of how to do it. Another thing that will help you is taking a punch and punching all these holes in the center. So that'll help you get your drill, you know, whatever bit you got, center to that hole, as long as your eyes are good, and you can measure it however you want to do it. But I do stuff by eye. I suck at measuring, and I'm usually closer by eye, as sad as that might be. But if it works, I guess. So to me, this is hot rodding, making stuff, and it's kind of cool at the end of the day to say I made that, even though a lot of people might not ask questions about an adapter that's on your carburetor. So this is just normal stuff for me, though, making stuff work, because I don't have the money to buy the nice stuff that just makes it right. Well, I guess I do have the money to buy it, but too cheap to spend it, I guess. So, there it is, guys. So good luck on your projects. Don't be scared to make stuff for it if you need to. I've never made one of these before. The closest thing I got to doing something like this is I did take a Holley lid for their high ram intake, and I turned that into a single, it was a blank lid, and I made it a single carburetor, which was basically tracing the 4150 gasket, drilling it, tapping it, and cutting the center out. So this is my first time countersinking this stuff and drilling different bolt patterns, and you know, I don't know everything. There's stuff that I've done a couple times, or stuff that I haven't done at all. So you just can't let it scare you. I have people who message me about stuff all the time, asking me questions, and I don't mind that, but sometimes I don't know or have the answer, and it's like, just do it, you know. Everybody's scared. Trust me, some of this stuff I'm worried about too, like getting these straight for this. I mean, it's $50, but if I mess this up, both of these, that's $50 I'm out messing it up. So, and that adds up, because then I'll have $100 into them, or whatever I end up having into them. Luckily, this one turned out good, so that's 20-something dollars, $25, $26 that I don't have to spend again. So as long as this one goes right, then we're good. But if it don't, then we'll have to order another piece of this aluminum, and now I'm into the $75, and then the price keeps going up, plus my time, labor-wise, and everything else. So my point is, sometimes you just got to try stuff and do it yourself, and worst case, you mess up, you learned. So maybe the next time you go to do it, you know how to do it a better way, or the right way, or however you want to word it. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to get to this, get this knocked out, and hopefully tonight I'll have another one of these. And then I'll clean it up and get the center and everything cut out, hopefully tomorrow. So that's it, guys. You guys have a good one. Don't be scared. Try something new that you've never done before. And good luck. I'll see you around.